Hey guys, welcome in. This is Jingyan, and I'm in the Philosophy 11 class. I wanted to interpret about the shame punishment for you guys today. And let's begin in our topic. And first, I will have the introduction. So lots of people may be confused about why is America so confused today, and lots of people are confused about the politics bully in America these days. And there are lots of events as some good examples to use some unusual ways to punish people. Bystanders always don't think a clear opinion to a serious political things, such as should we have this way in the future to punish people? But from outside official answers is not an acceptable forms because the outside official import has been posted online and the idea of public shaming through the internet is not appropriate and it is not acceptable at all form of punishment in modern societies because it can cause a very deep and long-lasting philosophical damage and cause people to lose their jobs and allow the perpetrators to hide behind a screen and remain unidentified. So essentially, they change the situation. We cannot use the shame to punish others in the public. So let me explain the pictures I posted on the PDF about the first examples of this man. Suppose there is a man who spent 5 hours alongside a busy street on Sunday in April with a very great big sign branding him in the intolerant bullies. When bystanders watch these scenarios, what they will think at the first glance? According to my research result, 80% of people will think this man is deserved about this punishment because he used the same way as before. 20% of people think this approach is not appropriate. Also, the government cannot use this way again to punish people to let them feel shame. But when I pose another questions, do you know what is the shame? And most people cannot answer this question correctly. Because the shame is a negative emotion arising from the belief from others real or imagined. They have judged that you have an negative wholesale property that you believe you have. So this is the question I elaborated in the next page. When I explain the identification of this shame to them, 10% of people change their thoughts and agree on this agreement. But there is a professor in the law school of the Florida State University and the experts on the sentencing points out that if punishment didn't have some efficiency, there probably wouldn't be much resistance from miscreants. But in fact, defendants typically don't want to be publicly shamed because they realize there is something publicity humiliating about being exposed in the streets. It looks confused, so we have to separate the shame into different levels and meanings. The first level of shaming will not let people have much negative feelings. And this is the best time to let them, punish them. Think about the first hours when the people experiencing the shame, they will not have many thoughts because they're just get in touch with the environment instead of feeling shames. But when people go on to the next level of shame, they will feel unwanted exposure to the public. So what we have to do is to let people know about the shame and the harms. Also, we have to think about a way to solve the shame in people's mind, in which is not a healthy way in people's life. If there are too many people feel shame and get them diseases, this is not a very good situation around the world. So the government have to think about some solutions to heal people's shame feelings. Healing shame become a very hot topic in these days, and recognizing your figures, practice self-passion, challenge your own thoughts, and don't double layer shames, avoid shame reinforces. These are some solutions, but recognizing triggers is really important to people who have to stand on the street, pick up a very big board, and get the shame punishment. The trigger is that people cannot feel when people have uncontact with them and they feel uncomfortable. The only thing we can do is to get the punishment time shorter and shorter. If we recognize that, we feel shames and we will stop the things and go on. And I think in the future, we can imagine some police politics will be operated to specific these behaviors. People cannot do this experiment by themselves because of the law and the government. Some countries will protect their country's people to prohibit the shame punishment, even they have some inappropriate behaviors before. Also, what we have to do is to recognize our own thoughts about shame and what we can afraid of. If people know all of the things, they will solve 70% of all of these whole problems. We cannot control our feelings, but we can still elaborate our feelings into more technical ways. Thank you.